And we're on.
And
we were just told we're on, so here we are.
We're on. We're putting it on now.
Well, welcome. So it is what, March 19th at 6 p.m. And we are how many days out?
I'm not counting.
21 days out. 3 weeks from today.
I'm pretending we have a little while longer than that.
Yes.
21 is a little too much pressure.
Well, we did get extra time this year because we're later in the year. Actually, we got 11 extra days, and we got leap year. We got February 29th, so that's 12 extra days.
But you're making us do more. So.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, I don't know if it's all me, by the way, but hey, welcome everybody. We're happy you're joining us tonight. Again, we're 21 days out. Lots to cover this evening. There will be obviously an opportunity for you all to ask questions as well. So we have Kathy over here monitoring questions. So if you're watching us, you have questions, you can start sending them in now, and we'll get to them. Make sure you subscribe so you can ask a question. And subscribe, and then we will be getting to all those questions as we move through everything we have to talk about tonight.
Absolutely.
So you want me to start?
Well, all I can say is we had our final volunteer meeting on Saturday, March the 16th. Had a great audience there. A lot of our volunteers came in for that information. Tonight, I think we're going to kind of go over a little bit of that information and maybe add a few things in, maybe get a little bit more detailed on some of the finer points that we talked about on Saturday. Yep. We had a lot of breakout meetings after the main meeting. Our Air Ops team always meets, and we had a lot of our other groups that also got together and met. So it's a good coming together. So hopefully those who've never been to one of our volunteer meetings will join us next year, because we won't have any more this year. Yes, next meeting is April the 9th through the 14th.
Yeah, or before that. Before that.
Absolutely.
So let me go ahead and give you all some updates too, and just where we are. Obviously, it is our 50th fly-in, and we're going to celebrate in a big way. And so I'm happy to report that our ticket sales were up about 35% over where we were this time last year. Yeah. So that is great. And what does that mean? Well, last year we were up 50% over the year prior to that in 2022. So ticket sales are doing really, really well. You know, I will tell you specifically for 927. So 927 Club Saturday tickets actually sold out on Saturday, or excuse me, in December. Mm-hmm. The weekly 927 tickets just sold out last week. Right. So last year I think we were at 92 weeklies for the 927 Club. This year we sold out at about 180-ish, I think is what we're at. So that has gone phenomenally well. I will tell you, we're probably going to sell out Wednesday and Friday as well. So we're probably about 50 tickets available each for Wednesday and Friday. So lots of tickets being sold. It's
very popular.
Yes, including our general admission, our weekly admissions. Those are up considerably. Preferred seating is up. Across the board, we're up in ticket sales. So that's a really good sign for what we're believing is going to be a huge year for us. And I would also say some of my friends out there, some of my volunteer friends, some of my chairmen are a little worried that we may be having too many airplanes show up this year. I didn't know I should be worrying about that, but all signs are we're going to have a banner year as well for aircraft visiting us as well. So
we want them all to come.
That is correct.
We've got we're up to about 20 Echo of Champions, which are previous Grand Champion or Reserve Grand Champion winners, and they're going to be coming and parking along Echo Taxiway, and they've sent in beautiful pictures of the aircraft, so we're very excited, and we can't wait for them to get here and have everybody enjoy those aircraft as well. So can't wait to see them.
Yeah, and a big thing for us too is with the expectation of all this huge influx of aircraft, you know, we will have the field will be open and ready for campers and parkers of aircraft on April 6th at noon. So Saturday, April 6th at noon, the field will be ready to go. The island will be up and running again this year, but it will be open. Pilot Welcome Center will be open on the 6th as well at noon. Food vendors, the island store. So for all of our campers, obviously the campgrounds will be open, you know, on the west end will be open before that.
Open,
yes, they're already open, and everybody's putting out their streamers and marking out their spots. So there's a lot of excitement out there.
And so you mentioned that. If you're a volunteer and you're wanting to bring your camper out early to find a spot, we do allow marking off at this point, but you must have a permit on your camper. So we had a little bit of confusion with that this weekend. And so if you come in and want to bring your camper in, please, please, please come and see us for a permit for that, either for your space that you're marking off or for your camper if you're bringing it in.
Yep. And also, in relation to the concert, so we have our opening night concert. So our previous chairman's meeting back in February, we had learned, unfortunately, on that Friday before that Saturday meeting, I want to say it was the 10th or 12th, whatever day that was. It was so far away, so long ago. But Trace Atkins, he broke his leg, and he's had multiple surgeries, and he had to have another surgery in March, so he is having some complications. So unfortunately, he had to scratch. We put in offers to two other country music artists. And then we wound up with Dylan Scott. So we're happy to have Dylan Scott on board, and Sarah Evans will be here as well. So Sarah will go on at 6 p.m. And then Dylan Scott will go on at 7:30. And the concert stage, the actual stage, will be on the Warbird ramp. So I actually have a slide of that. I'm going to move over to it, and if they'll bring up the my slides here, I'm going to move fast through this. So hold on a second, because this is actually our presentation from our chairman's meeting the other day. Here we go, almost there. Here we are. All right, so just to show you, so here is our Warbird ramp.
Right.
And so obviously this silhouette of this aircraft, this is the I don't think you can see my finger here, my pointer. But anyway, the larger aircraft to the right of the stage is the C-17. To the left, that is an Embraer 170, and then you have the Connie. To the left as you keep moving left, and then that little smaller aircraft, which is actually a big twin engine aircraft, that's actually a Tiger Cat that is going to be here with Air Legends, or Lewis Air Legends. Okay. Will be here coming with the Connie. But you can see the stage there right in the middle. The stage will be set up, start going up on Monday. They'll do a sound check on Tuesday. But you can kind of see the layout there and how that's all going to be set up. Right. So where the aircraft are sitting, there will be no people north of that line. So once the air show is over for the day, which ends at 5, we will clear that area of folks and then pull them back for the concert behind that yellow line. So. And
then the concert, the stage, after it's over with, the stage will be removed that evening, and then we'll be ready to have a fly-in full bore with the full Warbird ramp.
But those other areas on the left and the right of those aircraft, they'll be completely full of airplanes. We are being told we have one of the largest pre-registrations for Warbirds this year that we've seen in a long time. So there are going to be a lot of airplanes here, and we're going to need to accommodate them all. So we only obviously identified the big ones here, but there's obviously much more coming. So just wanted to kind of go through that a little bit.
And one of the things that I'm excited about for this year, the Thunderbirds are going to be parking on the south side of the field, which they've been relegated to the north side of the field for a number of years, or all of our jet teams. So we're bringing them back south. So our guests will be able to watch their ceremony where they walk out to the airplane before they go fly. So
and that's a change from years past. Now, granted, they were on the south side before, and now we're bringing them back to the south side because of developments over there on the north side with the airport. But with that, the Thunderbirds, the Ghost Squadron, the F-35A TAC demo team, the F-18 TAC demo team, there are going to be literally over 1,500 linear feet of jets parked on 523 on the east side of the runway.
I think we're going to have a lot of airplanes.
There's going to be a lot of airplanes here, and so lots of movements, lots of coordination, which has been occurring. Lots of coordination, obviously, but we're going to be ready to handle it. Obviously, we depend on you all. You guys do such a phenomenal job, because we can come up with all these grandiose plans and all of that, but obviously you guys help us execute that, those plans, and we're very appreciative of that. So. What do you got?
Well, I just wanted to kind of share a few things. I mean, you were talking about the air show and the airplanes and everything, but our exhibit space this year, we actually added exhibit space. We had a lot of we have a new area, Future Inflight, which they added a lot of exhibit space in that particular area, and we're sold out.
We are sold out.
I don't have the numbers exact. I do.
Right there. I did that slide, Laura. There they are, right there.
So we actually have 563 exhibitors this year, and that totals about 805 spaces. So Anne, who is our new exhibits manager, our director, she's done a terrific job this year. We're really, really proud of her.
Yeah, no, and that's exciting to announce as well, because that just shows the interest in what's happening this year. Absolutely. So we're going to be ready.
I think there is some excitement in the business world too. We have a new app this year, and we've got advertisers on it like crazy. I mean, people wanting to participate and be seen here. So that's a good. I'm glad you brought that up. So the app. Let's talk about the app. Okay.
We're going
Talk
to
about
that?
the app, yeah.
Well, it's your app. You're the one who
But
developed
you have
it.
the
Well,
slide.
I'm gonna move over to some slides. So stand by.
Okay.
But obviously we produced the app last year. So Laura produced the app with her team last year,
Yes.
and we're bringing it obviously back this year
Yeah.
because it was it was pretty successful. I think we
Yeah.
had 7,000 downloads this year, but we expect probably triple that this
actually
year.
got it up over
oh,
there.
look, I don't even need to do that. So
Yeah.
there it is.
So we've got a QR code here to where if you're near a screen or whatever, you can actually hold up there and download the app now if you haven't already done so. Please keep in mind that this is still in update phase. We will be continuing to update the daily schedule and different things that come about between now and the event. So every time you go in, the first time you go in, you'll have to actually sign in and all of that. But we're going to have a scavenger hunt here on site this year, so you can participate through the app with the scavenger hunt. But it will have our exhibitor listings, our exhibitor maps, our event map, everything that we can think of we have crammed into this app. So hopefully it will give you a good experience. One of the things that we did with our wristband this year is every guest that comes in on the site or volunteer, once they have the wristband on their arm, they'll have that same QR code on the wristband, and they can actually download the app right then and there and
Yes.
have all of the event information that they need.
Right at their fingertips.
Absolutely.
And real quick, as we're talking about the scavenger hunt. So real quick, what that is, and you saw there, I think it said the flying at. Forget if you could bring that back up. What do we name it?
Flying Happy Scavenger.
Flying Happy Scavenger
Yes.
Hunt. So what that is we have 6 Adirondack chairs, big giant chairs that are color coordinated with our flower boxes and the signage for specific
Right.
areas. So we will have a chair in Future Inflight Plaza. We'll have one at Home Built, one at Vintage, one at Warbirds, one at Paradise City, and I believe one at the island. So we have 6 chairs, and the goal is to bring people out. You take selfies with that. You enter. You go to each one of those areas, and when you do that, each day our friends at Flight Outfitters, there will be a bag full of swag that will be available that people will win, and then the ultimate winner at the end of it will get a ride with Nathan Hammond in his Chipmunk and be able to go do some skywriting with him.
That's going to be me, isn't
Well,
it?
it depends if you go to all 6 areas. So when you see those chairs out there, that's what those are, and that's what that's for.
So it'll be a lot of fun. Chance for an airplane ride.
Yes.
It's fun and fun. I mean, it doesn't get any better
And we want to
than
get
that.
people out to everybody's areas because we know
Yeah.
everybody works hard. So hopefully that's a good way to draw people
and that's the big
out.
thing. And we've revamped our tram route this year. We're going to have a lot of, especially on airside, shaded tram stops where people can sit down, have some benches, sit down, cover, get under some cover if they need to get out of the sun. But we want people to be able to move throughout the site and enjoy all these things that we're mentioning. And we need our volunteers to help us spread the word on, where people need to go. So the app, get you an in-flight guide when you get here. Download the volunteer handbook as well, because all of that has great information in it that's going to allow you to help our guests enjoy their best week, and then hopefully you'll get to enjoy your best week as well.
Yeah, and if you can bring that tram map back up as well. I mean, myself and Laura, have put, along with Teresa,
Yes.
have put a lot of effort and time into the tram routes this year
A
because
lot.
there were hiccups last year. We're obviously very well aware of that. So we put a lot of time and effort into this. And what's difficult about it is, in the green areas and the campgrounds, it's been pretty set. Obviously, the exhibit areas, there were some tweaks with the yellow route, but it's the red and the blue route. With the changes last year, moving the aircraft to the east side and having the island there and all of that, we kind of didn't know what we were going to get,
yeah.
but we saw it. It operated, not great, but hopefully with the red tram route and also the blue, there will be 5 trams on each one of those routes. So even when you get out to East Depot at 11, where our east parking lot is, East Main
Yes.
Auto Parking, and our ticket booths there, 10, 9, and 8 stops, including 7 at the island. 10 trams will come by there. There will be 10 trams out there on airside moving people around. So hopefully we have figured this out, and we'll be in a good spot this year to move a lot of people around.
And I think that will make people more comfortable, our guests and our volunteers that are maybe parking in the green lot, to know that that's going to be that transportation is going to be continuous.
And it's going to be frequent.
Right.
And in each one of the tram stops, too, we have the flower boxes with the signage on top of the flower
Correct.
boxes that will obviously identify each one of the tram stops
And they're
as well.
color-coded as
and
well.
they're color-coded. Yep.
Yes.
So if the color coding is wrong, I was in charge of that.
Yeah,
That's
I
my
didn't have
fault.
anything to do with the
Yeah,
color
so
coding.
I'm the color coding guy, apparently. So, no.
Okay, so we've got a question here. So how do I get in contact with a specific chairman that I want to volunteer for? So there's a couple of ways you can do that. You can contact me, of course, but you can contact Angela Mann, who is our volunteer chairman, and she can get you in contact with the chairman. We have chairman lists that we could pull names and numbers out of and everything. So if you have a specific area, you just need to reach out to Angela, or you can go on our volunteer site and fill out a volunteer form and let them know where you want to work, and they'll put you in touch with that chairman as well.
Good. You got another question?
Yeah, so can volunteers access the meeting slides? Yes, they can, and I loaded them up yesterday along with the video. And it is on our main website. Under the volunteer tab on the main website, you're going to click on the submenu that says access and click on volunteer, and there is a button on the left-hand side that says volunteer meeting presentations and video, and that is where you go. And there's a link somewhere that I can provide you if I think I gave it to the guy that was setting up this meeting.
Yes.
But I don't think he got it on here. But there is, and it is available online.
Yep. Very good. So we're going to keep moving on. We've got lots of stuff to talk about. I know there's one more question, but they're
Yeah.
going to keep coming in. Just to give everybody an update, so the tent company arrived yesterday.
Yes, it
So the
did.
tent company is here working diligently to get up all these tents. How many this year, just for us?
143
143 tents, and not all of them are 10 by 10s either.
No, they're not, and I'm gasping.
Yes.
But new tent company this year, they're very, very nice to work with. We're excited for them to be here finally. We caution you, if you're here, stay out of their way so they can get the job done. But if you have questions, or if you see them doing something that maybe isn't working for your area, please don't go to them. Come to me, come to Matt Anderson. Let us know what your concerns are so we can address it with the tent company.
Yep, absolutely. Also, just some highlights and updates on various things. So if you watched our Sun Fun Countdown Live, our last one, I believe it was last week. I don't even remember. The days are all running together now. I heard a yes in the background. So there's the NOTAM. The NOTAM's been out for a while. New Lake Parker approach. So if you have friends that are flying in, they need to study the NOTAM, know the NOTAM, be prepared when you get here. Even if you're volunteering and you're flying in, get the NOTAM. There on our website, there is a video that the FAA produced for the New Lake Parker approach, which actually starts at Fantasy of Flight over Kermit Weeks Place off of I-4. Again, get the NOTAM and watch that video. That's going to be important for our guests as they're flying in. We talked about the concert also on Tuesday, opening day at 9:30. We're doing a special little ceremony out front here to commemorate, obviously, our 50 years here as an organization and our flying. Just so everybody knows, our organization started in December of 1974.
Yes.
And the first flying was in January 1975. So actually, this is our 50th flying, but our 50th anniversary is in December of this year. So
no telling what he's got planned for that.
Yeah, so no, I'm going to still be probably trying to take a break after this flying. Still relaxing. But anyway, so we're going to do a historical marker dedication with Polk County out front of the museum here in the Skylab Innovation Center at 9:30 in the morning on April 9th. So if you're available, I know you are going to be working, but if you can make it, please come by. We're going to have some special guests and dedicate that marker to all of you, actually. I mean, that's who it's for.
And
so.
we want to thank Jamie Jameson for being the spearhead in front of. She's a former Sun and Funner.
Our former museum director.
Yeah, and she really took the bear by the horns, or the whatever, and got it done. The bull. That's the one I'm looking for. But she was instrumental in getting that done for us. So
and
we
Nick
certainly
Mathis
appreciate
as well,
it.
our museum director, our current museum director, who actually worked for Jamie Jameson at the Bartow Museum.
That is correct.
We're all tied together in some special way. Also, just so everybody knows, daily air show every day this year, Tuesday through Sunday, starts at 1 p.m., ends at 5 p.m.
Yes.
Every single day this year. So you don't have to guess at which time it starts or what time we end. The Sunset Aerial Circus. So our flying in the evenings down at Paradise City is Tuesday, even on concert night. Some people may not like music, but we're still going to be flying down south. It starts at 7 p.m. and runs to about 8:30 on Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday evenings. And then, obviously, our always exciting Wednesday night air shows, Wednesday and Saturday night air shows, and Wednesday this year we're also doing fireworks. So what you've usually seen on Saturday will also be on Wednesday, and I will tell you, you are not going to want to miss the fireworks show. We will have fireworks, ground-based pyro. You saw airplanes in the fireworks in that performance last year, and there's 2 other elements that I can't tell you about, but you will not want to miss it. It is going to be some good stuff and pretty exciting, so stay tuned for that. We talked about exhibit space. Also, our local, there's a local magazine here called The Lakelander. If you're here locally, it'll be coming out. Actually, they're delivering about 500 copies to us this Thursday. But they did a 20-plus page spread on Sun and Fun, our organization, our history, the Aerospace Center for Excellence, our volunteers. This year's event, it is impressive. So if you want a copy, tell us and we'll save one for you. But if you live here locally, pick one up because it's pretty impressive. And hopefully we did a good job, to commemorate and celebrate our organization in that publication.
It's been a big emotional job for those of us who've been around for a period of time and looking back through it. It's been wonderful to look back through some of the pictures and sharing some of the memories and everything. But it's kind of an emotional trip down memory lane as well, but it's been fun as well.
You and I may have shared a tear or two.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's nice to look back and see what we did right back then and what we're still doing right now. So absolutely. I mean, it's just it's been a fun ride this year with that part of it.
Yes, absolutely. Some new things as well. If we could go to the slides here, we actually have there's 2 new the press center. So you kind of have that baseball field looking there.
Field of Dreams.
The Field of Dreams.
That's
called the hangar this year. So this used to be Southwest Exhibits. There to the south side of the baseball diamond, basically home plate. There's going to be a stage there this year. There'll be an LED screen there, so there will be programming during the day and also in the evenings, and also movies there. So we had the movies in the campground. And the movies were in the pavilion last year, and they're going to be here. And it's basically set up like an amphitheater.
There's to move them around every year.
Yes, I know, We don't want to do that anymore, so hopefully this is where it stays. But there's some natural elevator, a slope to it, so it's up higher, as you get to the back of it. So
called
nice.
The Alan Duncan slope.
Alan Duncan slope. I don't know anything about that, but I'll take that. And then just to the north of the baseball diamond is our press center. So our press for hospitality and for them to conduct our various exhibitors and companies looking to make announcements, they will be able to do that at our press center. So it'll look a little bit different this year, so we just wanted to prepare everybody. Or if you hear the hangar and you're like, which hangar are we talking about with the metal walls and the roof? No, we're talking about the hangar here, our outdoor amphitheater. And by the way, it will make sense next year when it looks like a hangar, and it'll have a stage that kind of looks like a hangar, and that's the goal. So lots to do with that.
Build it.
I'm not going to build it. I will just figure out how to pay for it. So. What else do we have?
So we are, I guess, having a special guest here, Miss America?
Yes, Miss America is coming. So Lieutenant Marsh, actually she'll be here, I think she gets here on Tuesday. She is going to participate in our Women ACES program on Wednesday. She will also, at intermission between Dylan Scott and Sarah Evans, she will also be up on the stage and talking to our fans and everybody that's here, and then she'll depart on Thursday. So Lieutenant Marsh, Miss America, a United States Air Force Academy graduate.
Cool.
Will be here with us, so that's going to be awesome.
That is very awesome.
Who said that? Did someone know about that?
No.
Oh, you just mentioned it.
I just mentioned it off of my little cheat sheet here.
Well, we haven't officially announced that yet, so don't tell anybody, but we just told you all that. Actually, we announced it at the chairman's meeting.
We did.
But we're going to make an official announcement probably next week on that. So.
Okay. So we mentioned earlier about having all the extra exhibit space. You want to talk a little bit about the Future
Yeah,
Inflight
let's go
Plaza?
to the next slide here. So Future Inflight Plaza. So we've talked about it on Countdown Lives. I believe we talked about it on our Volunteer Connects in the past, just to make everybody aware. But here you can see the map. So this is what we have historically called, this used to be a campground, then it was Southeast Exhibits, and now it's Future Inflight Plaza. And what you can see here, these blue tents are really the bigger tents. So here you'll have Junior Aces with our youth activities will be here. Our career fairs to the southern edge or the bottom edge of that of the diagram there, the blue rectangle, that is our career fair. In years past it was 3 days, 5 days. This year it will be 6 days. As you move back up around the right, that longer rectangular blue in there in the diagram, that is our innovation showcase. So our G-Whiz and Jetson type stuff with drone companies, electric vertical and takeoff aircraft will be there in the innovation showcase. And then as you sweep across there, as you move left, the other blue square there, that is our Future Inflight forums. So we're going to have forums there each day. And then as you move back down, there's another one that has a yoke there. That is our flight sim experience. So that is going to be a 10. I believe there are 12 companies in there with flight simulators, full motion simulators. So that's going to be a pretty cool 10. Plus colleges and universities, flight schools. Our site development tent. So I know some of our volunteers, our board, my team, everybody here has participated in our effort initially to kick off our master site plan, which we're well underway on, and we're going to have a tent out there as well. So people can come by. If you did not have a chance to participate, you can go out there. There are forums where you can hear about the future of Sun and Fun and our organization and the layout as we move forward in the next 50 years at 10 a.m., 12 p.m., and 3 p.m., I believe, each day in our site development.
Is part of their forum going to be the process that we went through where we do
Yes.
the app thing?
Yes, part of that will be part of it, and also just for people to go in if they can't participate, to ask questions, opine, and there are QR codes as well that people can scan and take surveys, and we want everybody just to be able to participate and get their feedback. So that's going to be pretty important.
Because this is about our event.
Yes, this is the first 50 years, but what's next? The next 50 years, so that we're going to get ready for that. And the goal is to unveil the plan at Sun and Fun for our 51st annual Sun and Fun Aerospace Expo, April 1st through 6th next year, 2025. Not that we're already working on it.
April 1st. Okay.
Yes. So, but also if you could, so we have the International Oasis coming back too, and also the Family Oasis.
Yeah, International Oasis used to be our international visitors tent. Our chairman is actually coming back. That was in that tent prior to COVID. And we're bringing it back because our international visitors are coming back. So we're very, very excited about that as well. And then, of course, the Family Oasis is new, which is it's a daytime kind of break area for the kids and their families. And then in the evening, it's kind of a...
Yeah, there will be daycare there.
A babysitting service.
Yes, so I think it's $35. So I'm going to drop my 4-year-old off there, and my wife and I are going to go have a good time doing various things in the evenings. But Carol Lee, a local company here in Lakeland, is going to be hosting that tent for us daily. Yes. So we're excited to have them as a great partner. So we're excited about having the Family Oasis there.
There is a fee for the evening.
Yes,
but,
$35.
Yeah,
so for the evening.
So we're very excited about that.
Yep.
You want to talk a little bit about Women
Yeah,
Aces?
so we're going to let's another program for this year. So on Wednesday, April 10th, our Women Aces program. So that day we'll kick off with a breakfast in the pavilion at 7:30 a.m. And then we have 4 different speakers. Lieutenant Marsh, Madison is her first name because I'm looking at it right here. So Madison March, she will be one of the speakers. Connie Tobias, Lori Klein, and also Kelly Murphy with WAI, Women in Aviation International. So a great panel. We will be giving scholarships away that morning as well. There will be also another panel with Republic Airways and Lift Academy, and they will have a panel of various females in aviation with different career sets, not just being a pilot, but whether you're a mechanic, you're marketing, various elements, obviously, that anybody can, any jobs are out there, but there's going to be a whole panel of women on those various jobs as well. So it should be a great day. On Wednesday, when you see me, I will be wearing pink as well.
And so will I.
And we will all be wearing pink as a team, in honor of Women Aces Day. So that's going to be a great program for us with presenting sponsors U.S. Air Force and AOPA. So U.S. Air Force, a big, big partner for us this year.
Yeah, they're they're involved in several different
Yes,
activities. So.
absolutely.
So we had a question here about ordering extra volunteer shirts. So we do have the capability. We provide a complimentary T-shirt to our volunteers who have registered and are scheduled to work. If we have your T-shirt size, a T-shirt will be ordered for you. However, we do have a way for you to order extra T-shirts if you would like. And I know the person that asked this, we don't have a link on this particular, but I do have the deadline. They have to be ordered by March the 27th. But I will go in and respond to your message on YouTube when we get done and send you the link for that.
Yes. We have more questions?
Oh, yeah.
When can we fly in?
I think you already answered that
Yes, so
once.
April 6th at noon. You can obviously fly in. You can park in the FBO with a great anticipation at any time.
Right.
But to park on the south side with us, April 6th at noon, Saturday, April 6th at noon.
Okay. Someone's asking about the 24-hour generator area. That area is leased property that we obtain closer to the start of the event, so it is not currently open, but it will be. I'm not certain what the date is yet. I don't know if we have determined that, but it will be available closer to the start of the event, and yes, you can go in and either set up camp or rope your area off as long as you have a permit.
Yes, and there are actually two 24-hour generator areas, and because I monitor our social media, and there's been lots of questions about that. So what we formally call Miss Betty's, which is the overflow camping area, the north side is not 24-hour. The south side is 24-hour. But on the other side of that northern road, actually on the airfield for Lincoln Linder International Airport, that is now 24-hour generator area. So we did that last year. So in where old GAC was, where we had aircraft campers, we actually had RVs out there last year. It's
Right
24.
there where it says airside RV camping.
There you go. Airside RV camping. That's probably something we should have changed on the. I saw it the other night and I didn't remember to tell anybody that. But where it says airside RV camping, that is 24-hour generator as well. So there's a natural. The road's elevated there, so it blocks the sound, and it's quite a separation between the two different areas, whether it's overflow camping on the north side, and then that airside RV camping is now 24 hours. And we're going to double the size of it this year.
Right.
So I think we had probably about 100 rigs out there last year.
About.
We'll probably have about 200 out there this year, but it's all 24-hour generator as well. So there's 2 spots available.
Very nice.
Yep.
And I'm sure they will all be filled. Okay, so I'm wanting to volunteer again, but I'm not sure where. So
Parking.
Parking,
Yes.
Security,
Yes.
on-site transportation, admissions. We have several areas that are always in need of volunteers. So we again we have the online form that you can fill out. We can put you in touch with Angela Mann. You can even call me and I can direct you. But Angela is our volunteer director, and she'll be glad to help you as well.
Yep, absolutely.
Okay.
I heard here's a question. I heard there is going to be a Calvary.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about it? Yes, so the Calvary is, the Calvary are our young Lakeland Aero Club kids, because last year, with all the changes that we made on the airfield, moving GACs to the east side. We did some T parking last year. Some happy folks about it, some not so happy. But in the effort to obviously be as efficient as we can with the ground that we have, and with the influx of aircraft we're expecting this year, the Calvary is going to be out there. So our Lakeland Aero Club kids, when these aircraft come in the park, they've been practicing. They created their own video. I actually showed it in the Air Ops meeting the other day. So that was pretty cool. But they're going to be there to help T-park the aircraft, especially.
Maybe we can put that on the website too.
Yes, especially that's a great point. Especially in general aviation camping, because that's where we're going to do the majority of the T-parking. We don't necessarily want to do a lot of it in vintage or in home built, but if we need to, we will. And then probably some in general aviation park and GAP as well. But the big focus will be on GAC. As these aircraft starting to come in, we want to be as efficient as possible with the ground. So the Calvary, Callie's Calvary is what we're calling it. So they'll be out there, and they have their own 50th hats, and then they're also their flowered tropical flamingo shirts as well.
Several of them had them on at the meeting on Saturday.
Yes, they did.
They were quite bright. I think you'll be able to see them without a problem. So
absolutely.
Want to talk a little bit about volunteer camping. So those of you who were at the meeting, you heard this, and I've talked to a few chairmen about it. But we have two camping permits this year for volunteers. We have an east permit and a west permit. So if you are camping or plan to camp in the east campground or anywhere on airside, you will need to request an east permit for camping and for volunteer camping. The west campground covers anything that's not airside. So those are the two permits that you will need to request as you're making your plans to be on site with us for the fly-in. So if you've got any questions about that, me or Becky Clarkson is available to help you determine what camping permit you need.
Yes. I'm going to move here if I can figure this out. All right, also, if you can bring this up, the new event map. So our marketing team has outdone themselves this year.
Certainly have.
The reviewing team, which is the rest of us,
That's
has
right. We did
outdone
a terrific
themselves
job
this year.
too.
But this is our new event map. So this is actually up on our website. This is also up on the app as well. So go in there, check it out. We totally redid it, and you'll see underneath the actual images and all that is actually the aerial of the airport. So you can kind of make out some various things underneath the layer of all the various areas we need to identify with this map, but hopefully we've cleaned it up. We took the tram map off of here, so just to clean it up so you can see what it actually, just the map and the things you're looking for. That's why the tram map is completely separate this year.
We cleaned the keys up and everything. I mean, it's much cleaner.
And Trent Bracey, our new graphic designer, this was his baby. He totally redid it.
He did a terrific job on it.
Yes, it was a phenomenal job. It's unbelievable what he did this year. And if there are errors, we're sorry.
Yeah.
We tried. I mean, we've all poured over this thing, looked at it. If there are errors, we'll correct it for next year. But I think it's in really, really great shape this year, and just a fabulous job by our marketing team. So.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So as he said, the tram routes will not be on that map. So you're going, and in our Inflight guide, the insert that will have the map on it, on the reverse side of that, it will have the tram map on it. So if you're not an app person, you will still have that information available to you by picking up an Inflight guide and having the insert there with that information in it as well.
And another shout out to our marketing team and everybody as well. But our in-flight guide this year, we've put a lot of effort into the in-flight guide as well, trying to make it.
The daily schedule.
Yes, the daily schedule. That's what Laura loves, the daily schedule, which is very robust this year. But the in-flight guide, we expanded it this year because it's our 50th. We want to celebrate, obviously. So there's new elements, not necessarily new, but some things we brought back. There's a whole history piece, ACE piece, Commemorative Air Force piece.
We expanded on a lot of things.
There's a lot,
well.
So you're going to want to pick one up this year. We're going to print it on different paper as well. Be more of a commemorative piece for everybody this year. So look for getting the in-flight guide as well.
Okay, so everybody must have gotten my email. Is all I can say. All these questions are coming in. Okay, so is the 927 Club going to change its name to match the new runway?
No, I think actually we're just going to keep it 927. Just it's a little nostalgic, nostalgia. In honor of the formerly named runway 927. So I think we're going to
927 better.
It actually comes off the tongue better. So I think we're going to keep it there with 927.
Okay, do we need to vacate any areas for the Thunderbirds?
Yes, we do. Yes, so the campground, as usual, for the Thunderbirds, but not on Thursday this year. So only on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday will you have to vacate. Everybody knows about the yellow line that's drawn from east to west all across the campground out there, but you will only have to vacate this year on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So when the team arrives on Thursday, they're actually going to arrive at 4:30 during the air show. They'll be non-aerobatic, so no need to vacate. But then on Friday, just so everybody's aware, they are the diamond formation, jets 1 through 4 will go up. I believe between 11 and noon, which will shut the airport down for that period of time, but you do not need to vacate the campground for that period either, only when they perform on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday this year. So hopefully, it's not ideal, obviously, to have to vacate it all, but that's a little better than what it's been in the past. The Thunderbirds and what they do, it's a little bit different than the Blue Angels.
Now, will we need to do anything special for the Ghost team?
No, great point. So the Ghost Squadron that's here with us, so their jets are already actually here. They actually practiced on last Saturday, March 16th. just to make everybody aware, so this next weekend, I don't know the dates, but this next weekend, Saturday and Sunday, they're going to practice twice a day, each day. The following weekend, they will practice twice a day, Saturday and Sunday, and then they will also practice on April 3rd and April 4th over the runway. And these are just 30-minute performances, but the MiG-29, the Alpha Jets, the L-39, so lots of practicing by the Ghost Squadron.
And I think Adam mentioned at the meeting on Saturday that there may be at times some reason to move out of areas like for tent setup, or if we're working on the field during some of these practice runs that they're doing. So, so just be aware of that. You may be approached to kind of vacate a particular area.
Yeah, and the Ghost Squadron specifically during the event when they're performing and they're fully aerobatic, there's no vacate. You don't have to vacate any of the campground for the Ghost Squadron or the TAC demos either. So the single ship F-35 and F-18 do not have to vacate the campgrounds.
Okay. So this year, of course, we're celebrating our 50th, and we have a group of volunteers that have been here since the very beginning, and we
had a very special one here today, or two actually.
Actually, we had two.
We had two.
We had Miss Susie Eichhoff and her mother, Patricia Quinn.
Yes.
And so they came by for a visit, but they're amongst our pioneers and those that set the ground rolling for us for this crazy event. But this year, on Sunday morning every year, we have our volunteer parade. That's where a lot of crazy people who like to get up early decorate their golf carts, and they go around and have horns and do crazy noises.
And I've done it for the last 2 years through the campground, and everybody's out coming out, woo-hoo!
They wake up everyone in the campground. But this year, our our pioneers are going to be our parade, and I'm losing the word.
Marshals, officiants.
So,
officiants, or I don't know, something
Grand
like that.
Marshals is what we call them. Okay, sorry about that, Susie.
This is a live show. It's all good. This one's not scripted, by the way.
Absolutely
this is ad-libbing all of it right here.
Very much ad-libbed. But so Susie, who normally handles the operation and organizing of the parade, she's a member of our Pioneer family, so she and her group are going to be the official this year for them. So we're very excited about that. And the parade starts at 7:30 a.m. If anybody wants to join in, they all gather at the FAA building.
Yes, we do, and I will be out there. And then, by the way, today, so Susie and her mother were here today to donate to the museum the actual broom that Patricia Quinn used to clean out the registration building that's now here with us in the museum. This is like, this is big stuff, because this is our history. We are celebrating it this year. But I also, reading on social media today, it's actually certified by the FAA. I don't know exactly what that means.
Does it have an N number on it?
I have no idea. They're going to have to explain that. Maybe she can write that comment to us real quick, because I know Susie's watching, and explain that real quick to us, and we'll read it off to people.
Right.
But they were here to donate that broom to us, and that's how much this stuff means to us. I mean, this is big.
She also shared some really cool photographs, things that I remember going on when we used to kind of have little pickup bands in the Cornroast area, and everybody sat around and played music and stuff, and just a lot of great memories.
And I was interviewed actually by one of the local papers here the other day, and everybody, when we talk about Sun and Fun, the locals are like, well, okay, there's airplanes and there's stuff going on out there, but why does everybody come back every year? And I told them, I was like, it's the airplanes brought us together originally. And this is Paul Poberezny, right? But these events are about the people, and that's why we come back every year, because our friends are here. We get to volunteer, or really hanging out at night. When the sun goes down, that's when the fun starts. Not for us necessarily, because we're like, oh my God, I got to go to bed and get ready for tomorrow. But
well, I don't hang out late, but my family's here.
Yeah, but it's about the people at the end of the day. That's why we're here every year. That's why you guys come back and volunteer with us, and we're always so happy to see you guys as well. I mean, that's what it's all about at the end of the day. And I don't think my Lakeland friends necessarily appreciate that, or locals. But that's what it's all about.
It's us to educate them. We have to educate them. So 50th anniversary hats, of course, we're going to have 50th hats in our Sun and Fun merchandise tents during the event. Our chairman received their 50th hats this weekend. They started, and we have additional for those who weren't here for the meeting. And then we have 50th anniversary hats for our pilots that will be flying in our fly I flew into Sun and Fun hats are flying happy for the 50th this year.
Yes.
So that'll be fun. So we will have merchandise available. I think I saw some Sun and Fun T-shirts actually being promoted online or email
you can go.
blast or
Actually, you can
whatever.
go to our website now.
Yeah.
I believe there's several dozen T-shirts already available that people can purchase, and other merchandise as well that's available out there.
Right. So speaking of last minute information and stuff like this, as far as merchandise, we do have a newsletter for those of you who may not be signed up for it. There is I don't know if you can get that slide up, but I do have a slide that has a QR code that will send you right to the website, and you can't get it up.
Oh, well.
Okay, but we do have a newsletter that you can sign up for, and we'll try to make that available to you here in a minute, where you can scan on your phone and sign right up for our email blast.
Yeah, and a couple things I want to go over real quick too. And I've talked about it in the last two chairman meetings, but everybody's seen me wear this pickle. So here I go. I got a pickle right here. I've been asked by several people, what's the pickle all about? Well, there's a video that I showed actually that Tim Wells, our executive site director, found. It's about customer service, and for us, everything that we do, it's whether it's my team, our volunteers, our exhibitors, vendors, we want to be able to take great care of our guests. That's what it's all about. We want them to have a great time. We're not perfect, we get it, but we want them to have a great time. But at the end of the day, the slogan is give them the pickle.
Yes.
Right, because we just want everybody to have a good time, and if it's something easy and it's safe and we can give it to them, we just want to be able to help people out, and also whether it's externally or internally too. As our team, as staff, we need to help our volunteers as well, make sure we're taking care of them, and if they're making requests, we want to try to accommodate as much as possible. We can't always say yes, but we want to figure out a way to get there.
And as you're moving through the fly-in and you find maybe that there's a guest that's maybe disgruntled or doesn't understand why we're doing something, don't let yourself get into a frustrating situation where you feel like you can't answer them and you're not making them happy. Please call on one of us to come out and take that load off of you and maybe address that with that guest.
Yep.
And hopefully we can make it easier for you guys, and also our guests will leave and maybe be satisfied as
because
well.
unfortunately we will have individuals that aren't necessarily happy. It's just par for the course. That's what happens. But it's not on you guys to have to deal with that kind of stuff. So if you see us, anybody on the team, it's our job to take to deal with those types of things, especially if it gets really heated. But hopefully that's not the case. It's our 50th. We're going to celebrate, but things happen. But it's our job to take care of those things. If we're available, come get us and we'll help take care of that. Also, our How May I Help You signs are coming back this year.
Yes.
So all of the golf carts, be prepared. We want to be able to help our guests. We've got 450 golf carts that have been requested.
I don't think I've approved 450.
Well, not necessarily but the 450 most likely will be on the field, and that's a lot of golf carts.
Well, we have our rental carts, and then we have our personal carts where people bring their own in to help support what we do here. So those may not have the I May Help You signs on them, but most of just the regular rental assigned carts to the different volunteer areas, we will be putting those signs on your golf cart. So be prepared to help everybody.
Yes. And with golf carts too, so there's a lot of golf carts, there are a lot of vehicles, there are a lot of pedestrians, there are a lot of aircraft, and obviously we have great volunteers that help us separate all of this. But specifically for the vehicles, we talked about at the chairman's meeting, whether it's golf carts or vehicles, we really need to, when possible, stay on asphalt surfaces. Specifically what I'm talking about is the grass taxiway that goes through the middle of vintage aircraft parking and camping. I've seen a lot of people in the past using that as a cut through, as a way to get through quicker.
Or go around people
or
that
go
are in
around,
the road.
But the problem is that when we go through that grass, we're dusting these beautiful vintage aircraft that people have painstakingly, manicured and washed.
Well, they brought them here to
They brought them here to get them judged, right?
Yeah.
And so we really need to watch the cut-throughs through the grass and churning up the dust.
And our speed.
Yes, and our speed. I've seen several emails too about vehicles and golf carts and speed and people almost getting hit. So we really need to pay attention to that and slow down a little bit. Now, granted, if you're seeing something that's, God forbid, there's about to be an accident, you need to address someone. Do what you got to do, obviously. But we also need to address our speed, because I've seen a lot of comments on social media about that as well.
people are, and I have as well, and people, feel like they are getting run up on, and they sometimes can't hear the golf carts because of everything else that's going on. So don't assume someone hears you when you're coming up behind them. We all have a job to do when we're here, but we need to slow down and enjoy ourselves as well. So things, we have a lot of communication. We have radios, we have phones. We don't always have to get somewhere as quick as we think we do. So please slow down. Was the switch to digital the reason that there aren't any daily newspapers anymore? We kind of went through a phase with our daily newspaper. The gentleman, Ben Sclair, that was producing our daily newspaper.
General Aviation News, right?
General Aviation News. They come in from out west and everything, and I think it was a big dig for him. So they decided to step away, and we just never kind of went forward with any other kind of print media. I think we talked about it, but we never really did. And now that digital is so prevalent and there, we just kind of, we still do our Inflight guide, but we do depend a lot on digital.
Yeah, but we do have, and you'll see in the Inflight guidance on our website as well, if you go to media, we have with Aero News Network, Sun and Fun Digital Daily.
Yeah.
So they're here producing content every single day during the events, and they also do a show, I think it's at 9:30 in the morning each day, and there's also a wrap-up in the evenings. I know our team here with Dave Callahar and the volunteers are live streaming and doing various things.
Lots
I believe we have a live stream.
on site, too.
Is it 9 a.m. each day, Dave? Monday through Sunday at 9 a.m. Our own team here with Dave Callahar.
And we're doing the Innovation Preview on Tuesday.
And the Innovation Preview in the Pavilion Tuesday morning at 10:30. So we have over 30 companies going to be making, whether it's new aircraft announcements, new engine announcements, avionics, various things. There's going to be, and in the Pavilion at 10:30, lots of announcements coming out of our event this year, but there's obviously several ways. Also, we put out a newsletter each day. Melissa and the marketing team put that together. So again, subscribe to our newsletter because we're putting out news as well and things, at least making announcements for various things that we're doing.
We have, as far as the Sun and Fun volunteer family, and that volunteer page that I mentioned on the website, we have a social media page there that will provide you a lot of links to different Facebook pages. We have some of our volunteer groups that have actually set up their own Facebook pages that we help, we kind of get in there and watch what they're posting and post things ourselves. But we have a volunteer Facebook page. We have a lot of different social media where you can kind of connect with people, and we encourage you to do that as well.
If you all have questions during the event, we're monitoring social media at all times.
Right.
So whether it's our Facebook page, Instagram, we have our volunteer pages.
Right.
There's the Sun and Fun fan group. There's various groups out there. We're watching all of that. So if you have specific questions, reach out on Facebook Messenger. And I know Kathy and the team, they'll be watching all of that and responding to people as quickly as possible.
Absolutely. So it seems that Bonnie had a question about island hats. I'm sure I know that. Is this the Bonnie that I think it is?
Oh, this is Bonnie Perkins. Okay,
Yes.
got it.
So
She lives at 333 West. No, I don't even know where she lives. So
You're close. No. She
Oh,
lives right around the corner. Okay, so island hats. I believe the big brim hats are going to be out at the island. So, and they're very cute. I'm going to get me one, and it's got the 50th on the front.
Yeah. So by the way, we're going to have those hats also. I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but I'm going to do it anyway. So I know, can I do this?
I don't
okay,
know.
whatever. I guess I'm the boss. It doesn't matter. Somebody can yell at me.
You can do it.
Hey, so the Stanleys. Everybody saw the Stanley promotion from last week. Okay, first of all, I didn't even know what Stanley Cups were. Every time someone said Stanley Cup, I'm like, hockey, what are we talking about? Anyway, apparently these things are a big deal. So we actually purchased, I don't know how many.
I think it was 50.
50? 55,
okay.
50-ish Stanleys, and they will be at the island for sale. So you guys are the first to know. So when we open the island store, April 6th at noon, there's going to be a line of volunteers out there.
I know one person that's going to be out there before the tent opens.
Yes, but those Stanleys will be out there. So I was like, you've got to be kidding me. But it was pretty cool. But anyway, they'll be there along with other cool swag, for our 50th out at the island store, ready for your purchase on April 6th at noon.
Yeah, when I saw those, I was just like, oh my God.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
It was the most insane thing I've ever, and the people that didn't win, or they're like, oh, like, how could I not win? And I'm like, well, I don't know, there's 400 purchases that day. I don't know what to tell you.
I had people texting me, how do I get a Stanley Cup?
Yes.
I'm like, I have no idea.
Insane. Anyway.
Okay, is there a special registration booth for GAC for volunteers? So is that for volunteer check-in or for?
No, that's for general aviation camping.
Well,
right?
I know that,
okay,
but they're
sorry.
saying for volunteers. So if you're asking about picking up your permit, no, your permit won't be at that booth. We have been trying to get this worked out logistically, and we have not been able to do it. So if you're coming in and you're flying in and you're a volunteer and you plan to camp with your airplane, you're still going to need to acquire your permit from the camper registration building off of Hamilton Road. You may be able to coordinate with your chairman in order to help get you, if they have a golf cart, maybe we can get you out there and get that permit for you. But right now we don't have a way to solve that for you. I'm sorry.
Yep.
Okay. So we have one other question. We have volunteers flying in to help set up. Can they park in their area on Thursday at noon?
Thursday at noon.
That would be
which
before
Thursday, I guess.
That would be the Thursday before if they're helping for
No,
setup.
we cannot. That's a tough one. I'll have to get back. Parking, because I think we've done it in the past, because we do open the gate. The gate is open and available because we allow our sandwich folks, our volunteers, to go out there
5
and camp on
o'clock
the airfield.
It opens up
it's
at 5
noon
on
on Thursday,
Thursday.
actually.
Yeah.
But as far, I think, let me get back to you. If we can find out who that is, Kathy, and we can send them a message, but I'll get with the airport, because I think you can park, you just can't camp out there. But let me clarify that for our volunteers, and we'll get back to you. We'll follow up tomorrow on that one. Remind me, Kathy, we'll do that.
All right.
That's a good question, though.
That is. So, so a lot going on.
Yes. I don't know. What else do we got? Are there any more questions, or are we all done?
I'm sure there's a lot that we haven't covered.
Yes.
But so of course we're in the final throes of getting things organized. So we have one other question. We have. Hello?
Hello. All right.
So we're in the final throes of getting things put together. My office is a bevy of people coming in and asking questions. Luckily, I have two great volunteers, Becky and Laura, that kind of save me on every day. But be patient with us, because we are getting a lot of questions from a lot of different people, and that goes for the staff as a whole. We're all kind of pushing up against deadlines, and I know a lot of times you come in, you're wanting to help us, and that's great too. We need all the help we can get, but just be patient with us, because we're trying to get our job done so you guys can come here and have a great time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So if that's it, I think we're
Yeah.
we're ready to wrap this thing up and get going.
Well, don't forget to download the app. Don't forget to, I will tell you, one thing that you need to do, if you haven't already registered with your volunteer to get your credential, you need to make contact with your volunteer chairman to get your credentials, so we can get your T-shirt ordered, for one thing, as well, and they can get your packet organized, get your credentials there, so when you arrive, your credential package and everything is waiting for you when you arrive.
Well, good.
Okay.
All right. Well, I guess that's...
Well, it is. I mean, we've got, I think, is that 3 minutes we have left? So we had a parking meeting this week.
We did. We talked, actually, I met with Lakeland Police Department. Maybe it was Friday last week. The days are running together now. But we met with Pocono Sheriff's Office for our parking operation this year, so we should be good to go.
Discussed a lot of the construction zone. I think we have a plan for that. We are going to most likely do overflow parking on Saturday, so we have a plan
if
in
we
place.
need to. We have a plan if we need to go there, because obviously we're expecting a lot of people on Saturday. That's always the biggest day. Yes.
So we're kind of threading the needle, getting everything kind of closed off and plans made, so we all know what we're doing.
Uh-oh, we got one more question.
One more question. Okay. Will there be a safety meeting prior to the show? Mock drill. Are we doing
a safety meeting?
Yeah, or mock drill is what?
What's that?
First aid AED training.
First aid AED training.
Normally we do like a mock drill type of thing, but was that planned for
Yeah,
this year?
we're doing a tabletop this year.
Okay.
Which we did last year as well. But if that's for volunteers, I don't know that we do that.
That may be what they're talking about. I'm not sure. So
I don't know. We don't have a great answer, obviously.
yeah, obviously not.
But I will tell you, I mean, for the air show, or at least for Airside, I know they're going to meet. I thought they had said Monday at 7 a.m., but most likely Sunday as well, is my understanding, to get ready for this year. So, another question. Now they're rolling in.
Yeah, they're just
We've
rolling
got
in.
53 seconds.
How about East Camping open date? So you will be able to arrive East Camping when the field is open, but you have to have a permit.
So is that Thursday at noon?
Well, it'll be Thursday night at 5 o'clock.
At 5 p.m.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Okay.
All right, friends. Well, I think that's it.
Thank you.
We're going to wrap up. Thank you all very much.
Look forward to seeing
happy 50th.
all of you.
Yep, y'all be safe. We look forward to seeing you.
Yes.
And high five.
Got it
Let's
done.
go.
He
It's
made
our
me
50th.
do this.
Yeah, well, no, I did not. Appreciate y'all.
Thank you,
Thank you.
guys.